Have you ever met one of those people who just can't be stopped? It's like they're unstoppable.
Yeah, I have.
Me too.
What's their mystique?
Nothing stops these people.
Don't stop.
Welcome to Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso. You're about to meet some of the most amazing people.
Stop. Don't stop.
They've accomplished their goals despite insurmountable odds. They beat adversity, physical hardship, and traumatic events, and emerged triumphantly. They're people just like you and me, and they're winners. Are you unstoppable? Here's Frankie to show you how.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Mission Unstoppable Radio. You are going to have a fantastic show and meet amazing people today. I guarantee you that. We are going to be looking at two successful Weight Watchers success stories. Carly, Bernard, and Mary Brady are here with us. Also joining me today is my friend and popular radio host, Sandra Beck. You all know Sandra, I'm sure. And she and I are both Weight Watcher participants, and we often spend time chatting off air about how to stay on track. So I decided we would go on air and let the rest of you join us in that conversation. These two ladies are experts, and they're going to show us how to stay unstoppable. Carly Bernard, she's just shy of her 28th birthday, and at 17, she weighed 407 pounds. Today, she has lost 184 pounds in a little less than 2 years. Mary Brady also joins us. She's 47, and in 2000 was the first time she joined Weight Watchers. At the time, she did reach her goal of a 26-pound weight loss, and after a while, she stopped going, and she gained back, and after pregnancy she gained back a little bit more. And in 2015, she suffered a heart attack while losing weight. So we're going to talk to her about that and the rest of their stories, because there's a whole lot more to come with that. So welcome, ladies, and we'll just take off from here. How's that? Everybody good?
Yes,
I am.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I think the first question I have is, how does one stay unstoppable in their weight loss journey? As you know, I've gone many times and lost and gained and lost and gained. I'm sure many of you have as well, and even our listeners. So how do we reach our goal and finally say, this is the last time I'm going to do this. I'm just going to keep it off? Whoever wants to take it. Carly?
For me, what helped a lot was to set smaller goals, because I had such a large amount to lose and it was overwhelming to think about. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to lose this. So I would set smaller goals of 5 to 10 pounds and just focus on that, like hitting one of those goals at a time. And then the other thing that's really helped me is if I have a slip up, then I just make sure to move on, like not get hung up on it, get right back on track rather than just going off the rails and keep eating bad, because one mistake is not going to ruin all of my progress. Right. Try to keep that in mind.
So I have a question. What constitutes a slip up? Because here I'm new to the program. I'm only been here a couple months, and with my travel schedule, I've made like 50% of the meetings. But what constitutes a slip up? Like what do you think is a slip up?
Maybe like if you're planning on going out with friends, or like a holiday comes around and you're trying to plan to stay on track and things don't always go as you planned, and you might eat something that you didn't have enough points for if you're doing Weight Watchers, or you didn't have a plan to eat, like junk food and something that wouldn't be considered healthy. So if that happens, I just make sure to eat as fast as I can the next day and just move past it.
So, because I'm learning this stuff, one of the things that happens to me, and I'm curious if I'm the only one, because I think, validating and supporting each other is so important. So please don't tell me I'm the only one. Have you ever sat down with people and started eating and not even realized you were eating? The other night we were at a restaurant and they put this bowl of chips out for Mexican food, which is really popular here in Southern California. And everybody was talking and eating, and I had the best of intentions, girls. And then I looked down, I had no idea how many chips I had eaten. I just was putting my hand in the bowl like
all the time.
I don't even know I tasted them. I mean, that's the sad thing. It's like if I had been mindful to enjoy them, that would be one thing. But I was just mowing through them because everybody else was eating and talking.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes you don't really notice it, and it's really subconscious. But if I'm going to an event where I know there's new food, I try to be really mindful of it. So I would try to sit away from the chips, or if I know it's going to be a problem area for me.
Mm-hmm. Like I've gone to the movies with celery and hummus, and I'm thinking, good girl, like, good for you. And this morning when I was driving back home, and I was thinking of Michael Jackson's song, it's white, it's black, and I was thinking, I'm good, I'm bad, because at Weight Watchers, I'm going to be good today, I'm going to be bad today, I'm going to be good today, I'm going to be bad today, or I was bad today. And being bad was going over your points, or just eating junk food, without thinking about what the heck you're eating, like Sandra in her bowl and the chip, her hand in the chips. So Mary, like for you, do you think of good and bad days, or do you just think, fluff it off and go, yeah, I'm just going to write down what I eat. Do you write down what you eat? Because you're supposed to write down what you eat.
I certainly do. Correct. I have been tracking this time, and I'd say, honestly, fairly consistently. I think that's a big game changer. And to account for, like you say, those moments where you feel it is a slip-up or a little overindulgence, if you still account for it, surprisingly, sometimes you can fit it in your points because, remember, you have the weekly extras. And if you do go over, well, that's part of it. But the fact that you're tracking it, you're actually owning it. Because remember, they say if you don't write it down, it's like it didn't happen, right?
That's right.
So the ownership of it, whatever it is, and just allowing yourself to not be perfect. Because you know what? There is no such thing as perfection in this journey. And that's the one thing for me that's huge because I am a perfectionist. So for me to overcome that mindset has been, I think, part of why I'm able to continue to sustain and keep my lifetime goal weight.
And Carly, did you track as well?
I do track. I actually meal prep all of my meals on Sundays, so I track it all right then. Except for dinners, I just have to track my dinners every day. And I try to get out of the mindset of thinking it's black and white. I try to think of it more as gray matter and try to balance it because it's not realistic to say, I'm never going to eat junk food again. I think it's important to allow yourself those indulgences sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was telling Sandra how I have frozen yogurt every night, but it's tracked. It's in my point system, and I'm not going over my weekly points. It's just part of my day where I'm saying I'm not going to have, a big sandwich or something. I'd rather have my frozen yogurt. So it was just a choice of which food I'm going to have rather than that. Now, they do say that people who track obviously lose more weight because you're more accountable. But also, if you go to meetings, you're supposedly are 80% more successful to lose weight if you attend meetings. Now, why is that? Anybody?
I think it's the support system. Just it keeps you accountable, knowing that you have to go weigh in first of all, and then also just the support and the tips that you gain there.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Carly. I've been going weekly, even though I don't have to.
Right.
I continue to go weekly. Even when I'm on vacation, I have found, the Weight Watchers place in Florida where I have a place, and I continue to go even on vacation. So
that's fantastic. Sandra, do you go to meetings?
I do, and then I stopped, and, I really like the leader, but, and I'm just going to say it for what it is. I was sitting in the meeting, and everybody in the meeting was either retired or married with kids, and I was there as the single mom, and I got really crabby. I got really bitchy because the problems that everybody else had weren't the problems that I had. And I was like, oh my God, I would love to have the problem of a husband sitting down and saying, honey, you look great and let's go out to eat. There were things like that just made me feel bad. And it was me. I get that. These are all nice people and lovely people and they all have their own lives. But I felt the last time like I was the odd duck, and what I was struggling through with the two kids and caring for my dad and working full time and running a company, like nobody got it. Like I would say something and they'd all look at me like, oh.
Yeah. I get that because I remember going to, a meeting, a work meeting, which is totally different from, a Saturday meeting. And I also went to a meeting a couple years ago where I only lost like 6 ounces in 3 weeks. And I totally blame the leader for that. I thought she was a real dud. But I thought I'm going to go back to the guy where I did lose weight. And the three of us actually, Carly and Mary and I, do have the same leader, and he is fantastic, and I think he makes a difference. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just more fun or something. So maybe you need to find a different group or a different time of day to go, like 5 o'clock at night when the working people go. Maybe that would make a difference for you.
Yeah, I think so, because I'm trying to go, and that's the other thing is my schedule shifts each week, and so does childcare, and so does custody, you know. So trying to get sustaining, you know, because what I did was I changed my online program to online only. And I'm going to try that because I have you, Frankie, that is
not
pushing.
A leader.
No, but you know, I didn't want to go somewhere where I just felt bad and out of place.
Now, Carly, Sandra, I can tell you exercises a lot. I do not. So what advice would you give her? Because she has a trouble staying, you know, getting food, staying on track. What advice would you give her?
For exercising, sorry?
For just losing. Like, how can she be successful at Weight Watchers being very busy?
I find it very, like, my meal prepping very helpful because my schedule can get kind of hectic throughout the week because I have, like, work during the day and then I go to the gym after. I work with a trainer and just trying to keep everything on the go. And by meal prepping on Sundays, I don't have to worry about getting my food ready throughout the week. It's just done. I can grab it and go.
Sandra, she makes everything on Sunday.
I do too. I cook for my whole family. But one thing I realized when she was speaking, I cook for everybody else. I make the low sodium meals for my dad. I make high protein things the kids like. I cook for everybody else. And then I eat. I'm like the cleanup batter. I eat whatever's left over.
No, you need to make yourself a priority.
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
Yeah. Mary,
you have to
how
find
can you
a
make
balance.
yourself
You do have to find a balance. You definitely have a chaotic life. I can somewhat relate to you. No, I'm married, but I do have a son. But I also have now an elderly mother that I'm helping to look after as well. And like you work and you're trying to juggle. But you do have to find pockets of time, moments of time where you literally block it out, however that is for you, to say, nope, this is my 1 hour to do, like you say, a prep time, whether you're doing like Carly on a Sunday, you're doing it for others anyways. You have to fit yourself in that scheme.
I have to break you off because we're going to a commercial break. I'm so sorry, but we will be back. And Mary, you can finish what you were saying. Sandra, stay tuned.
Problem.
Everybody else, stick around, Carly, because we are coming back as soon as this commercial's over.
Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso will continue right after these messages.
Stop.
It's words you never heard.
If you have a lot of spizzerinctum or the will to win, and you have a strong desire to be a part of your favorite sports team, the National Hockey League might be for you. Did you know that if both goalies on an NHL hockey team are injured, anyone at the game is eligible to step in and play the part? Teams have resorted to using their coaches, team owners, and even their web designers to fill in for injured goalies. It's as simple as slipping into your breezers or hockey pants. The original hockey puck was made out of frozen cow dung. The fastest puck shot on record was clocked at 114 miles per hour. And I'd like to take this opportunity to send out a special thanks to the men and women of our armed forces serving our country around the world.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
If you are a runner or dancer, or if you play soccer, tennis, football, basketball, or any sport that involves sprinting with sudden starts and stops, you are more likely to get a hamstring injury. Your hamstring muscle runs along the back of your thighs. The Mayo Clinic tells us that a hamstring injury occurs when you strain or pull one of your hamstrings. You also might experience a partial or complete muscle tear, which does not necessarily mean that you have to have surgery, but it can be painful. If you injure your hamstring, you need to take time out to let it recover with rest, ice, and over-the-counter pain medications, which are often all you need to reduce the swelling and relieve the pain. The best advice is to keep your muscles strong and active to prevent the injury in the first place. For the Fitness Minute, I'm Annette Hammond. Visit our Facebook fan page at Fitness Minute with Annette Hammond.
And we're back. Mission Unstoppable Radio. I am your host, Frankie Picasso. We're here with Sandra Beck. We're here with Mary Brady and Carly Bernard. And these successful Weight Watcher folks are here to talk to us about how they became unstoppable in their journey. And Mary, just before we went to break, you were giving advice to Sandra about making her a priority. She needs to make herself a priority for at least an hour a week. And I'm sure that she can manage to carve that out.
Yes, absolutely. Because like I say, she's already partway there. Like like most of us, I think generally, even sometimes as women, I know I'm generalizing, but you tend to put others' needs in front of your own.
Yeah.
That's sometimes a motherly thing and whatever it is. You do have to now realize, no, you're worth it. You need to make yourself as much of a priority as everyone else and make that pocket of time for you. So.
And I liked what Carly said too about chunking out her weight loss. Like, she had she lost 184 pounds. That seems so monumental when you look at it from, around the mountain kind of thing. But when you say, okay, I'm just going to carve out 5 pounds of that. I can do 5 pounds of that. And then just keep going. I can do another 5 pounds of that. Eventually you're at 185 pound weight loss. Like, that's amazing.
That's crazy. I was like, Frankie, when I read this promo for today, I'm like, I lost 185 pounds, but I got divorced and I got rid of a bald head and a bad back at the same time. I mean, you are just astronomical. I'm so proud of you. I wish I could reach to the microphone and hug you, both of you.
Now, Mary has the opposite. Mary sits in a meeting and she's very tiny, very petite, very thin. And, people look at her like, what the hell are you doing here? And she brought it up at the meeting because there's like a racism against her. There's prejudice against this thin person being at a meeting. So Mary, why don't you talk about that? Because you weren't always thin and you had to lose the weight. You know what it feels like.
Yes, exactly.
And you're what everybody's trying to get to.
Yes, and well, all of us, I mean, whatever it means to you, but for me it came down to health. That's when things started changing. I mean, growing up, I've never had a healthy relationship with food. I do recognize that now as an adult. I'm actually Italian background, so don't let the Brady fool you. But I grew up with a lot of pasta and homemade breads and a lot of carb-filled things. And when I was younger, obviously, you're active, so it didn't faze much. But now, after in my 30s, it started to change. And, I still had an unhealthy relationship with food as far as poor eating habits. I would binge eat on chips and chocolate and whatever else I could get my hands on at times. And that had to change, and I really had to learn that. And it was actually a good friend of mine who was overweight herself and just said, look, don't wait till you get to my stage to do something about it. Why don't you come with me and find out what Weight Watchers is about? And that was the first time that I joined.
And that was in 2000?
Yeah, around 2000. Mm-hmm. And I was successful. I did reach a goal weight. But the thing is, I didn't sustain it because those old habits and those poor eating habits were still in the background. Mm-hmm. I didn't come to terms with all of that. So hence the weight came back on and then some. And that cycle repeated off and on until this very last time where I had a complete and utter meltdown as I'm standing over a bin of summer clothes that no longer fit, and I'm sobbing, and I'm telling my husband, he's married to a fat, so-and-so, and he felt so bad for me, but I just kind of hit that rock bottom moment where I felt like I just had abused my body again. Mm-hmm. And why did I do that? I should know better. And, all those things were so hard on ourselves. We were talking about that last week about the whole body confidence thing, And
I know a lot of people are relating to your story right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not very kind to themselves. And you had a heart attack during that moment, didn't you, or during that time?
So I had joined the Weight Watchers program at work and was, again, being successful because I am a very compliant person by nature, and I just wanted to do well for myself. And between, I think, a combination of various stressors and things in life, that's exactly what happened. I had a mild heart attack. And here I was trying to get healthier. I was working out. I was, tracking. I was losing the weight. I was getting almost to goal. And that happened. And that really rocked my world because despite trying to make all these positive changes, it just goes to show sometimes that, we are fragile at times, and stress plays a huge factor in that. Mm-hmm. It was personal stress and work stress and the culmination of things. So I really had to reevaluate myself even at that point. And I went on medical leave to try and heal. And it was also at that time that I joined the Weight Watchers group in Cambridge and met first Andrea, the other leader, on Thursdays, and then met Scott after that. And it's been great. I haven't stopped going. Like I say, that's the key for me, tracking and going to weekly meetings. So you're Lifetime now? I am, and it'll be 2 years this coming June.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good
That's
for
the
you.
longest. That's the longest I've ever been at Lifetime.
Wow.
So,
and so at Lifetime, you have to stay, within 2 pounds or 5 pounds?
Within 2 pounds. Within 2 pounds, plus or minus.
Within 2 pounds every week.
Yeah. Every month.
Wow.
You have a once-a-month weigh-in, which is official.
That keeps
but I
you
weigh
legitimate.
in weekly. Yes. Yes, it sure does. And actually, I find it actually sometimes harder because when you're in the weight loss journey, your focus is to keep trying to lose weight and, of course, as well as all the other non-scale victories that they talk about having, because it is really beyond the scale. When you reach goal weight, and yes, your focus has to shift to trying to keep the maintaining of it, it is a little bit sometimes harder, I find, a little more challenging at times, because you think, oh, maybe I can have one little slip here and there, or I can cheat, or indulge a little here and there, but you really can't. You're just
Carly,
yourself,
are you at goal weight?
I'm not. I actually haven't set a goal weight just because I've been bigger for all my life. So once I get down, I'm not sure how I'm going to look or feel. So I think I'll just know when I get to it. But as of yet, I haven't set a goal weight because it's a feeling, really.
And you said that you wanted to get to 27% body fat. Are you near that?
No, I still have about, I think, 12 or 13 more to lose to get to there.
You'll do it, though. Do you still feel strong? Do you still feel like I'm going to do this?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm still very motivated.
So what is motivating to you?
Like Mary said, focusing a lot on the non-scale victories. So I try to not focus too much on the scale because it can be up and down, and you could be making progress even though the scale doesn't show it. So focus more on how I feel and how my clothes fit. I've had some really cool non-scale victories, like getting on an airplane without using a seatbelt extender and being able to ride a roller coaster now.
Oh, wow.
I love
That's
them.
amazing.
I wasn't able to do it for so long.
And are you dating?
No.
No? Well, you should be because you're really cute.
She's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so proud of Carly.
Thank you so much.
What a transformation. Yeah, just amazing. You're like a whole 2 different other peoples.
I feel completely different. But that's another thing, too. I found it very motivating to take a lot of progress pictures because I can't always see the changes just looking in the mirror, so it helps to compare them.
Right. And do you measure yourself? Sandra, have you measured yourself?
I did, and the thing that's frustrating for me, and I feel like I'm the wet blanket, on the show here today. But when Carly said, how my clothes fit, and I can do certain things, like I can hike up the mountain a lot easier now, and my clothes fit. I look good in my clothes, but my scale hasn't budged all that much, and. I think, what I heard from her is saying, the number's important, but it's not everything.
Right. You do want to see it go down. There's no doubt about that. I know I look for that little victory every week, but it could be your scale. And if you're, are you weighing the same thing are you wearing nothing when you do it? Are you doing it at the same time of day every day? Do you average out the weekly?
No.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's why. I mean, you're going to weigh totally different in the morning than you do in the afternoon, or, I jokingly posted that picture of the coffee cup, like, should I go without drinking my coffee so I can get that extra ounce off? But, it was kind of a joke, but it was kind of serious too.
Yeah, that was funny.
My whole week could have been wrecked, Right, Mary? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. But I think the big thing too is for me, I only weigh in for my own personal self just to do a comparison the morning of my weigh-in. So I don't weigh in like 2, 3, 4, 5 times through the week. I used to be like that.
Okay.
This time round, I weigh in before I go into the Weight Watchers meeting to do my weigh-in there. Because I know I think I'm about a 2-pound difference on my scale. But in knowing that's fine. That's just my check-in point. And that's it. It's funny because I don't let it control me, or I don't obsess as much about the scale anymore like I used to. Really, my whole mindset has shifted with this new program.
Awesome. And Carly, you said that you oh crap, I just forgot what you said. You were talking about oh my goodness. It wasn't about necessarily the pounds, and it wasn't oh darn it, I forget. I'm so sorry.
The roller coaster, the seatbelt extender?
No, it wasn't that. It was just it was something I read about her.
The non-scale victories, or she was talking
Are you
about?
clothes fit?
No, none of that. Sorry. It might come to me. Hopefully it will.
That's okay.
But I think it had something. I don't know if it had anything to do with weighing in, actually, but, weighing yourself. Like the cheating. That's what it was. You say that you have a cheat day, and that's okay. And you've given yourself that permission to have a cheat day every week. And I do too, but except my cheat day is like Saturday and Sunday. And then I go back on Monday. So I could actually probably lose more weight if I didn't do it both days. But I think everybody kind of needs a cheat day. With my personality, I do. What about you, Mary? Do you need a cheat day?
It's sometimes I don't necessarily call it that, because sometimes my cheat day might be not even cheat moments, but I call them almost little indulgent moments, and they might be spread out throughout the week. But the biggest thing is, like I say, this time I'm just kind of more accounting for them. Yeah. And I think that's a big thing. If you account for them and you write them down. Like, I thought it was going to be really bad. I went to this place, the kids all wanted to go for their birthday, and it was like a rib place and all of this stuff, and we had fried chicken. But I had 2 pieces of fried chicken. I had half a baked potato. And you know what? That was the week I lost 4 pounds. I'm like, cool. Okay, that worked. I counted it. I tracked it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And boom, it was still within my points. We're going to go to another commercial break. We want you to stick around. Thank you so much for joining us. And you're listening to how Mary and Carly have managed to keep this weight off. And Sandra and I are going to try to do the same. We're going to try to stay unstoppable. And we hope that you'll be unstoppable too. Don't go anywhere. We are going to come right back in just a moment. And Sandra, I'm sure you'll have some more questions when we come back.
Oh, I will.
I know you will. Here we go.
Don't stop.
That's right. Don't stop listening. Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso will continue right after these messages.
Stop.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
You may think that getting 5 or more servings of vegetables and fruit a day is a daunting task and may even seem unrealistic. With the price of almost everything increasing, some people think it's too expensive to buy fruit and vegetables. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, you can buy 3 servings of fruits and 4 servings of vegetables for well under $2 a day. If the taste of fruit and vegetables is not your favorite, find something low-calorie and delicious to dip them in. My children love to dip fresh vegetables like carrots, celery, broccoli, and cauliflower in ranch dressing for a nutritious and tasty snack. Dipping them into yogurt is also scrumptious. Be creative and make sure to eat at least 5 servings of fruit and vegetables a day. By doing so, you will watch your health increase and your weight decrease. For the Fitness Minute, I'm Annette Hammond.
If you could live your life truly standing in a place of peace, joy, and abundance, wouldn't that make your heart soar? Now you can, with Lessons in Joyful Living, with your host, Kimberly Rinaldi, Mondays at noon Central. Kimberly Rinaldi, having created a highly successful coaching practice, now teaches Lessons in Joyful Living. She believes in empowering others and that through it, you have the ability to break through any and all barriers, thus allowing you to reach your greatest potential and joyfully step into your life's purpose. What used to take weeks, months, or even years, she can now teach you in a matter of hours with her programs. For more on Kim and her show, go to her website, KimberlyRinaldi.com. That's RINALDI.com. Then join us for Lessons in Joyful Living with your host, Kimberly Rinaldi.
Okay, and we're back. Mary Brady is with us, Carly Bernard is with us, and Sandra Beck is with us, and Sandra's having problems tracking her food. She says she's a grazer, and so we have some pointers for her. And maybe Carly, you want to give her a couple of yours, and Mary, you can give her a couple of yours.
For grazing, I find it is really helpful to track ahead, so that I know exactly what I'm going to eat for the day. And then also something else that has really helped me is I eat smaller meals more often. So I try to eat every 2 to 3 hours, and they're all just small meals and small snacks, and that stops me from overeating at any given meal.
That's good.
Yeah,
I have a rule. I don't like to feel full. I will not feel full. That is against my rule to feel full.
I love to feel full.
No, I do not like it. It does not feel. Then you need to wear tight pants. You need to wear jeans with a button every day.
Yeah, that's right. No.
You like to feel full.
2 pounds of bologna in a 1 pound bag.
That's your punishment. No, I have found that. I don't know if you girls have found it, but for me, if I wear my jeans, I am much more likely to not overeat than if I was to wear leggings where they just keep expanding with you. And that's how I gained all this weight back last time, because I didn't realize how big I was until I went to put my jeans on that were 2 sizes too small and went, what? Right? So that's my rule. You got to wear your jeans at least once or twice a week. And you know that you're going to stay, you're on track.
That's true, because you do bust out of your pants, when you've been eating too much. But I know when I've been eating too much, because I feel like lethargic, I feel grumpy, and and I try to hike every day or walk every day, and you can feel it, and you might want to admit to it, but don't you guys know, when you're off track?
Absolutely. Like I find though now, just like Carly, I eat smaller meals. Primarily it keeps my blood sugar stable. I don't go from being extremely starving to overly full. And that seems to help regulate the amount of food I guess I'm intaking and staying within points and everything else. So I know that's one tip. I just don't get to the extreme of the overly full stage,
Because then you go, I don't care, I'll just have whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes, like you say, these splits or things may happen. It's reining it back in. I can't eat and overindulge. Sometimes I will try and say, oh, I really want that extra chocolate or whatever. And I go to have it, and guess what? I can't eat like that anymore. I actually feel physically sick. So surprisingly enough, eating healthy, it does sometimes force your hand. If you try to revert back to some of the old eating habits, your body can be unforgiving with that.
I understand that. We went out for fish and chips on Saturday, real delight. And I actually couldn't even eat a quarter of the fish, and I had no fries. And that was just because it just was gross to me at that point. So I was very happy with that.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
it does. That one I will say, I shifted a lot in what I've been eating, and a lot of the stuff that I used to be able to eat and would enjoy now makes me feel sick.
Exactly.
So why Weight Watchers? Why Weight Watchers? There's a gazillion other, programs out there that offer you the same. You're going to lose faster. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. Why did you guys choose Weight Watchers?
For me, when I was younger, I did another diet. I don't want to say what one it was, but I lost weight very fast on it. I also had a very low caloric intake. I wasn't eating a lot at all. So eventually I did hit a plateau, and I gained back double what I had lost.
Jeez, don't you hate that?
Yeah. So after I stopped that one, I went to Weight Watchers for the first time because I think it was my mom that suggested it. She's done it with me every time I've done it. And they warned me that I'd probably gain the weight back because I'd be eating normally again. So I did, and I had stopped it. And then I tried Weight Watchers again when I was 17, and it was a lot of success that I had. So that's what brought me back this time as well. And I think it's just because they're not restricting you. They're trying to help you make better choices with your food and helping you learn how to have a healthy relationship with it.
I find for me that it's normal food. You're not eliminating one little thing out of your diet. So I don't have to go, oh, I really, really, really want that. I can have it if I want it. I just have to track it. So it allows me just to be normal, and I can eat the same stuff everybody else I live with eats and go out and eat. I just need to be accountable.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was for me too. I haven't per se tried any other diet, and to me it's not a diet really, as we know. It's like really it is a lifestyle change. And for me, I'm still, like I say to you, those struggles are always there sometimes, whether for me it's like I say a binge eating, I get a taste of something and I just can't stop at one or whatever the case may be. But I've just learned to be able to, with this program, just manage certain, I guess, cravings or, like I say, controlling the amount of sometimes binge eating I may want to indulge with. I'm able to have just better control of it as opposed to it having control over me. And I think that's why this time, because I continue to do the tracking, like I say, attend the meetings, and now really try to enjoy my relationship with food, even like trying new foods and getting outside of the box. I think that's part of why I've been more successful this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you mentioned after you had your child, like when I had my kids, I gained 100 pounds. I had twins. I gained 100 pounds with them. I lost that 100 pounds over a 2-year period, but I was, in my 30s, and I exercised like a maniac. Now that I've, had a motorcycle accident and can't exercise at all, it is a little more difficult. However, this time seems to be working. And I think the last time I took that free fruit as 0 points to heart, and I went, that's all I ate, because, it's free. I can eat this all day long. It's free. And you can't eat it all day long. It's not free.
Well,
for my body, it's not free. Yeah. For my body,
yeah.
And I remember being at a meeting and one of my friends said, and so we can actually have bananas. And she goes, yes. And we can have a banana all day. She goes, yes. We're going, how can that be possible?
No.
You can't. You cannot.
Can't. Especially if you're insulin resistant. Like I'm the child of 2 diabetics. And so all of my kids and we all have blood sugar issues. And you cannot eat all that fruit. I tried it, Frankie, remember? And I gained like 1.5 pounds. I was ready to shoot somebody.
Well, there's so much natural sugar in there. Your body is still trying to process that sugar. So, no, you can't have 5, 6, or 7 fruits in a day, per se, and expect, you know what I mean, to have weight loss and all that, because your body is still trying to process that sugar.
And also, if you're having it in a smoothie or anything, you have to count points for that because it's blended, so your body doesn't have to work to break it down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now with the new program, because with the new program, the fiber isn't as the holy grail as it used to be. You used to be able, something could be like 12 grams of fiber. Like, yes, I can eat that, but they're not giving you the same points off for that anymore. And they've kind of changed this whole program around, and it actually does seem to work better now because protein is a little bit more valued. Sugars and fats are devalued, and people are just really eating healthier.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, it's due to their, scientists really examining more, I guess, like you say, to determine the values of the foods. They've determined that the saturated fat and the sugars in the foods are what really contribute to the value associated with them. So meaning those that have a higher saturated fat content and a higher sugar content have more points, and therefore they hinder you trying to lose the weight. So,
now, have either of you ever called a hotline?
I have dealt with the online 24/7 chat a few times, and they've actually been very good. We've troubleshooted on a couple different subjects, and they're all members that are leaders and experienced, and they've been very helpful, actually,
Oh, that's good to know. Did you, Carly?
I haven't tried the 24/7 chat, but I do go on Connect a lot, which is like their little social media aspect of the app, and I find that really helpful to connect with other members and see what they're going through as well.
Yes, I've done that as well.
I had a friend many years ago. I guess there was a hotline even then. And I remember her calling. She goes, I ate a pork chop, and I'm not sure if I overate it, so she called the hotline. I'm like, I really wouldn't worry about it, but okay. but the hotline is there for, real issues. And I think it's pretty cool that they now have, a 24/7 hotline for people who maybe you're feeling down or something, right? Maybe you feel like I can't control myself and you really want to. Is that something that you could call a hotline for?
You totally could, but like Carly says too, the Connect, the actual members through Connect have been fantastic for that. And if for as much as you can turn around and pay someone that you don't even know a compliment or an encouraging word, and at times when you need it, they're there for you. It's been really excellent for that.
It's kind of like having a meeting right at your fingertips.
Yeah, because I found reading the people on Connect, like their stories are so amazing and they're so inspiring, and it's just like, wow, I finally did it. I finally reached my goal today, or I'm 300 pounds, but I've lost 40 today, and this is how I did it, or this is the food that I'm eating. Because that's the other thing, food. Like, how do you not be bored with food? Like, do you eat the same thing every day?
I do. I'm very much a creature of routine.
Yeah. Okay. So do you find, like, for me, I eat the same breakfast and lunch, and then dinner varies. So what about you guys?
Yeah, I'm the same way.
My breakfasts through the week tend to be, I have rotate between a few choices. Lunches, I tend to switch it up depending. I have a tendency to try and make leftovers. So say I make a pork roast or, chicken breast or whatever, then I try to have that, so at least I have something fairly nutritious but different varieties through the lunch times. I go through phases of you're on salads, you're off salads, you're on to, cooked vegetables, you're off cooked, you know what I mean? So you do tend to be, like Carly says, kind of a creature of habit. But I also like to try and change it up, and that's why sometimes when you go in the Connect and you see what people are posting even in regards to what they're eating, I think that's great because you do get inspiration from other members to sometimes just venture a little bit outside your comfort zone even and try something new. So
I'd like to know what your most favorite Weight Watcher dinner is, like, while you've been on the program. We're going to go to commercial break very, very shortly. If we have time, we'll do it before. If not, then when we come back from our break, it's our last commercial break. So, Carly, what about, 30 seconds. I don't think we have time, but think about it. Think about what your favorite dish is. So far, I've been spiralizing zucchini and having that instead of pasta noodles, and my family loves it. I can't believe it, but my husband thinks it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they ask for it all the time. So that's pretty good. We're going to go to a commercial break. Sandra, I want you to know what your favorite food is. When we get back, don't go anywhere. We are coming right back. It's Mission Unstoppable Radio. Let's be unstoppable in your weight loss journey, too.
That's right. Don't stop listening. Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso will continue right after these messages.
Stop.
It's words you never heard.
So last night, my husband was laughing as he was reading about the differences between men and women. According to the article, men get single tusks or hiccups more often than women. Everyone knows that women are better at multitasking than men. I'm good at both multitasking and procrastinating, which means right now there are 28 things that I'm putting off until later. What's another word for a person who puts everything off until the last minute? A cunctator. Women blink nearly twice as much as men, and while men can read smaller print than women can hear better. In fact, when a woman says, "What?" she heard you. She's just giving you a chance to change what you said.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
As you are preparing for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, be mindful of what you need to do in order to not pack on the pounds. Fitness Magazine offers fit fixes to blast the excess weight before it hits your hips. If you eat 1 cup of mashed potatoes, you have consumed 237 calories, and 1 cup of eggnog has 224 calories. They suggest that you rake leaves for 53 minutes to dissolve the calories from one of those. A slice of pecan pie has 503 calories, and the fix they offer is to play football with your family for 1 hour. My advice is to work out before the holiday meal. Make good choices while eating, and then take a long walk with your family afterwards. Enjoy the celebration and the time with your loved ones. Then get back to your healthy eating and daily workout when the holiday is done. For the Fitness Minute, I'm Annette Hammond.
back. It's Mission Unstoppable. Carly had to leave us, but Mary's still here, and so is Sandra. And before we went on break, I asked them to think about their favorite Weight Watcher meal. What would be just a go-to, wonderful, yummy meal that you want to have, and that others might want to eat too?
So I'd say for me, one of my favorites is always a really vegetable-filled stir-fry, whether it be chicken or beef. Mm-hmm. And whether I decide to do some rice with it or a side noodle, if I choose to have some, again, I measure it for myself. My husband and son do their thing and can have as much as they want. They're not tracking, but I sure am. But I find that's definitely one of the ones I enjoy having. And then in the summertime, I really like doing a bunch of marinated and grilled vegetables on the barbecue, along with a really nice lean steak. That's always I love the smell of that. Just the way that they grill on the barbecue is definitely appealing to me. So.
Yum. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. And they're quite, healthy.
Oh, mine is, and it's funny because I've been like taking all these notes on today's shows of like changes I'm going to make. And, one of them is to include my meal that I love, but everybody in the house hates. Oh. I make this grilled tilapia, and it's so easy. You just put a little bit of, oil on either side of the fish, and then put, I make this blackened sauce, which I can put it up on Frankie's website if you want, but it's easy. It's just like salt and pepper and paprika and cayenne pepper, and you pat it on each side, and you put it on the grill, and you fire up that baby, and you get like this blackened grilled tilapia that's so good, and you can throw some green or yellow squash, and then I put some brown rice with it. It is like one of my all-time favorite meals ever. My mouth is actually watering while I describe it to you.
Nice.
But I have not made it since like summer of last year because I don't grill in the freezing cold. But I could grill in the oven. I just never thought about it. And then everybody gave me such a fuss. But now that I have my new mantra here, which is I matter too, I'm going to be on my food cooking list. I'll just cook my own meals and put them in there. And you know what? If all four of us sit down at dinner every night and each of us pull a different meal out of the fridge because of dietary restrictions, then that's it. I mean, where is it written we all have to eat the same thing as long as we're at the same table?
Exactly.
Oh, that's exactly it. I find that I do that as well. Sometimes I'll have, like I say, a variation of something that my boys will eat. So.
Actually, they're asking me how much Weight Watchers cost. It costs a different I think in different states and in different. I'm in Canada.
I can tell you some of the things, like because I'm looking to renew right now. You can do this online program that's like $20 a month, US dollars. And then there's lots of promotions out there. So search for a coupon code.
Or free membership.
There's things like that.
Monthly.
And then you can get
what is it, $65 a week, I think, or $65 a month, I think, here in Canada? Something like that?
It was $44 here in the States.
But then you get a deal for the 3 months. So, there's always a deal when you buy like the 3 months at a time or something like that.
Yeah, 3 or 6 month membership,
And I was going to say that I bought a cast iron pan, grill pan, that I just throw, you can put that fish on that grill pan and just throw it in the oven. And I wouldn't put the oil on the fish, but I would get like I put a little bit of oil in a bowl and then just take a pastry brush and brush the bottom of that pan so that you're not getting so much oil on it, and then just blacken it in the oven in the broiler in that cast iron, and it's so good. Everything comes out great. I do burgers like that every week, and they're fantastic.
There you go. Yeah.
I think you just have to buy. Think about how.
Oil? Have you seen the oil misters, Frankie?
Yeah, the oil misters are really good too.
Misters are good too. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen those, Sandra? You just throw oil in a little. It's like a spray bottle designed for oil. You'll throw your olive oil in it, and then you just spritz it. So there's no. It's not harmful to the environment like those other sprays, and because it's just a pump, and like 10 sprays I think is 1 point, something like that.
I think that's right. Something similar to that. Yeah, those are handy.
Yeah, those are really good too. So, so what have we learned right now? We learned the leader matters.
Absolutely.
We learned that fruit isn't free. that you have to track your points because you will be way more successful. And like like if you're planning a meal on a Sunday for your week, then you must think about what food you're going to eat for the week. So it's easy then, I would think, to be able to track your food for the day, knowing what you've made for a week, or before you even make that menu for the week. So we track, and if you can go to a meeting, it's even better. And just go to different meetings until you find the right meeting. Because I really do think that not all the meetings are the right meeting for you. And when you fall into the right group with the right leader, you're going to know it and you're going to be more successful.
It makes sense. It does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people go, oh, you know, Danny asked me the other day, so do they tell everybody what you weigh? I go, absolutely not. They don't tell people what you weigh. That's for you. But, you know, you get to choose and tell people if you've lost weight. You can say, hey, I lost 2 pounds, or I lost an ounce, or I lost 5 pounds. And people, you know, are supportive and you know, for you and are happy for you. But if you've never been to Weight Watchers, no, they don't point at you and go, you know, she weighs X number of pounds. These people have chosen to tell us how much they weigh.
Well, and they're all different sizes. That's the one thing that I'll say is, you know, there was really big girls and really tiny girls and really big boys and really tiny boys. But it wasn't like I physically, I didn't feel out of place.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, like, I know that, you know, because Mary's so tiny, and I understand that, you know, people would look at her and go, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. They feel intimidated by her size. But the same thing happened to me, you know, when I got out of my car with the wheelchair, and they go, did you take that from your elderly parent? And I'm like, no, it's mine. You know, like, people can't look at you and know what's going on inside you. They can only look at the outside of you. And, you know, because she's thin now doesn't mean she didn't have a big weight loss journey and that she's on a lifetime and needs to go there. Because we all need to think about it if we want to, you know, get to the end. And I think thinking about it in 5 pound increments is really healthy, you know, because I think all of us can look at 5 pounds and go, I think I can do that.
Absolutely. You know, like you said, it doesn't matter whether you have 5, 10, 15, 100 pounds to lose. Like I was saying, we're on all a very similar journey where we're trying to have a healthy relationship with food. We're trying to make ourselves healthier usually. We're trying to, whether it be, like you say, walk those extra steps without losing breath, whether we want to climb a stairs, same thing, without having to be short of breath, whatever the case may be, or lower your cholesterol levels, like in my case, that's what happened, you know. So everybody's journey, it is a personal journey. The fact that we all have that commonality of trying to be healthier, that's why we're there. And to support one
and your blood
another,
pressure
not
does
tear
come
each other
down too when you lose weight, just for people who want to know that. My blood pressure came down when I lost the first 10 pounds. It was like, boom, oh, nice treat for me. Yeah, right. And, you know, Sandra wants to put a bikini on this summer. I agree. I think you should.
I do. I had a bikini body for many years. And I mean, it wasn't perfect, but, you know, and I wear the athletic bikinis because I like to ski. I like to swim and surf and sail. And, you know, even if it's just boogie boarding with my kids in the shallows, I mean, there's so much in this life that you can enjoy, you know, and I love being outside and I love hiking, but I hate like hiking up the hill and having to hike my ass with me. Like I need us all to be on the same page.
You know, it's so interesting when you think about those 10 pounds and you think about carrying home a case of water or a 10-pound bag of potatoes, and what a relief it is to put those down. And you think, wow, like that's inside me, and a bunch of those bags of potatoes are inside me, and I'm tracking that around everywhere I go. So wow, eh? I mean, really, when you visualize it like that, it's huge.
Exactly.
What a relief to get it off.
What a relief.
Yeah. So we're going to stay unstoppable. We're going to meet our goal. If anybody who is listening wants to join us, feel free. You can join us and you know, write to Sandra and I, and you know, we can put your comments through to Mary and Carly. And if you want to be unstoppable with us, but we're going to do it. We're going to finally do it.
Absolutely, because we're worth it.
Because we're worth it.
Yeah. And Ben, you are too, baby.
Yeah, Ben, you can do it too. You and Lisa can do it together. I don't know if she has to lose weight, but he's married. It makes it easier.
Yes. We're all in it together. Like, that's the one thing. I used to think I was the only one who secretly struggled with my weight like everybody else in Los Angeles. And then I found out it's like everywhere. Everywhere.
But I think we chose well. I think Weight Watchers is really a great program for me. And I think that, you know, it's a healthy eating program where you just, you know, track what you're eating. And I think when you're conscious of anything in your life, conscious of everything that you do, then it works for you. So conscious eating, don't watch TV while you eat, because for sure you're going to gobble down more than you thought, didn't know you ate. Don't go to restaurants with endless salsa and chips unless you can tie your hands behind your back.
Well, I'm just going to sit on them. I mean, I felt like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, why are you shoving this food in your mouth? You're not even tasting it. I don't even know if I was chewing or swallowing. I've been
there in California doing that. I've been there. I've done that. And you know what? You're not hungry when you're doing it. You're just doing it because it's sociable.
Yeah. It's sociable.
It's sociable. So maybe they could do something else to make it sociable instead of, free chips and salsa. Just to bring the salsa, leave the chips. Yeah. Something like that. And you know what? And I if you like potatoes or baked potatoes, I put salsa on my baked potato. I don't put butter on my potatoes anymore. I've really stopped doing that. I don't put sugar in my
coffee. Yeah, I do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I just find that you don't. And at the dinner table, my husband gets the butter out and he starts putting on the vegetables and on the potato and all of that. I go, why are you doing that? You really don't need that. Like, try to start eating your food without it, and you'll find that it does begin to taste just as good. So it's retraining everything.
30 days and you can retrain your taste buds. I learned that in cooking school many years ago.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's making new habits. Yeah.
So we're going to look forward to Sandra making us a week's menu for Weight Watchers.
Yes.
There you go.
Because she's a chef. We didn't know that. So she's going to do that for us. And
I know, isn't that shocking? But I learned how to make really delicious food. I just now need to rethink the way I make the food.
There you go. Well, we got 1 minute left. Mary Brady, thank you so much for being our guest. Carly, if you're listening back, thank you for joining us, and congratulations to both of you. Sandra Beck, thank you for being my co-host today and friend. And, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. You're so funny. And I do wish you and myself happy weight loss journey.
Happy weight loss journey. Whee!
Happy weight loss journey.
Yeah. How about happy, healthy new life?
You should join because it's fun. And all of you out there, stay unstoppable. You can do it. Again, it's another Mission Unstoppable. We'll be back next Tuesday. Actually, we'll be back tomorrow for International Women's Day. We have some unstoppable women joining us at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So join us then. Take care. Bye now.
Happy Healthy Week.
And track. Don't forget to track. That's
track. Track.
And we're out of here. Thank you.
Don't stop.
When the chips were down, they didn't stop. Stories of people who, when the odds were against them, turned defeat into victory. You've been listening to Mission Unstoppable with Coach Frankie Picasso. See you next time, and always remember...
Don't stop.